Imagine this. It's late at night, you're sitting with your phone, opening your banking app almost out of habit. You scroll, check balances, everything looks controlled. Then you open your credit score, expecting stability, maybe even a small increase. But instead, you see it. It dropped. Not by a lot, but enough to feel it, enough to make you pause. And the first thought that hits you is simple and confusing at the same time. How? You paid everything on time. You did what you were supposed to do. There were no missed payments, no obvious mistakes. And yet, something moved in the opposite direction. At first, it feels like an error, like the system is broken. Because in your mind, the equation is straightforward. Pay on time, score goes up. Miss payments, score goes down. That's the rule most people believe. But the moment that rule doesn't hold, something deeper begins to reveal itself. Because a credit score is not just a record of your discipline, it's a model, a constantly adjusting interpretation of your behavior, not just in isolation, but in context. And this is where things get subtle. Because the system is not asking, did you pay on time? It's asking something more layered. How are you using credit overall? And that question includes things you don't always notice in the moment. How much of your limit are you using? How often are you opening or closing accounts? How long has your credit history been building? Small changes in any of these areas can shift the picture, even if your behavior feels consistent. So imagine this. You make a large purchase, something completely manageable, something you plan to pay off anyway. You're still responsible, still on time. But for a brief period, your utilization increases. From the system's perspective, your risk profile changes slightly. Not because you did something wrong, but because your behavior in that moment looks different. And that difference gets reflected in your score. Or maybe you close an old account you no longer use. It feels like a clean decision, simplifying your finances. But that account carried history, time, stability. And when it disappears, your overall profile shifts. Again, not wrong, just different. And the system reacts to difference, not intention. Around this point, it's worth pausing for a moment. If you're watching this and realizing that managing money is not just about doing the right things, but understanding how systems interpret those things, you're on Andrew Finance, where we break down the deeper psychology behind money, behavior, and financial structures. If this perspective is helping you see things more clearly, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who feels confused by their credit score, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Because once you zoom out further, a deeper realization starts forming. Your credit score is not a reward system, it's a risk system. It doesn't exist to congratulate you for being responsible, it exists to estimate how predictable you are as a borrower. And predictability is measured through patterns, not just outcomes. This is why even good behavior can sometimes create unexpected results, because the system is constantly adjusting based on how your profile evolves, not just whether you pay, but how your entire financial structure shifts over time. And that can feel frustrating, because it doesn't always align with how humans think about fairness. We think in terms of effort and intention. I did the right thing, so I should be rewarded. But the system thinks in probabilities. Given this pattern, what is the likelihood of risk? And those two perspectives don't always match. And when they don't, confusion happens.
Over time, this creates a kind of tension. You start realizing that financial systems are not built to feel intuitive, they are built to manage uncertainty. And because of that, they often respond to changes before you fully understand them yourself. A slight increase in usage, a new account, a shift in balance, all of it feeds into a model that is constantly updating. And this leads to a deeper behavioral shift. You stop thinking about money as a series of isolated actions and start seeing it as a pattern over time. Consistency matters, but so does structure. Not just paying on time, but maintaining stability in how you use credit. Avoiding sudden changes, not because they are bad, but because they create signals the system interprets in its own way. And this is where most people get stuck. They follow the basic rules, but don't understand the deeper system. And without that understanding, every unexpected drop feels personal, like a mistake, like something went wrong, when in reality, it's often just the system recalibrating based on new information. The deeper realization here is not that the system is unfair, it's that it operates on a different logic than we naturally expect. And once you understand that logic, your relationship with it changes. You become less reactive, less confused, more intentional. You stop chasing short-term changes and start focusing on long-term patterns. And that leads to the final perspective shift. Your credit score is not a reflection of a single moment. It's a reflection of how stable and predictable your financial behavior appears over time. And once you understand that, the question changes from "why did my score drop?" to "what pattern am I creating?" Because in the end, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Not just doing the right thing once, but creating a structure that looks steady, reliable, and balanced from the outside.
If this video opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe, because what you learn today can save your future tomorrow.